Did you know that God is a virus? Yeah, me too. So I am currently reading this book called The God Virus by Darrel W.Ray. And in this book, he shows how religion is similar to parasites, germs, and viruses that inhibit our bodies. Now, he points out how religion has subtle and obvious influences in our everyday life, and how it has, for thousands of years and centuries, penetrated in our society from the basic level, that is the family, all the way to politics, leadership, and governance, unexplained and unchallenged. In this book, he discusses the similarity of religions to parasitic behavioral control of certain animals. For example, how grasshoppers, when infected with hairworm, are more likely to jump into water where the hairworm reproduces. The parasite, the hairworm, makes its host, the grasshopper, suicidal so that it can further its own reproduction. Religion is no different. The way the parasite literally takes over parts of the brain and takes over the perception of its host, religion similarly seems to take over the perception of those it infects. He calls it the God virus. He says it infects the brain and alters critical thinking skills, leaving the skill intact for other religions, but disables critical thinking about one's own religion. Think about it. For example, how fast are you to criticize and see the flaws in other people's religion but not your own? Now, for example, I am a former Christian, and when I was a Christian, I would easily hear about the stories about Muslim religion, for example, how some people committed jihad so that, and after when they died in heaven, their reward would be virgins, they would be awarded virgins. And I would think about it and I would be like, that is just so ridiculous. But I could not see the flaw with my own religion, like how Christians were told that when we die, we we are going to go to heaven where heaven is full of milk and honey, and we are always singing for God, and it's paradise, it's lovely. Or either the alternative is hell where you burn forever for your sins. I could not see the flaw in this reason. Think about how you never ever try to read about other religions. For example, if you're Christian, you rarely find out about what the Quran says, you rarely read the Bhagavad Gita, you rarely read other religious documents that are not your own. Same thing applies with the opposite. Muslims rarely read the Bible, Hindus rarely read the Quran, the Bible. You get what I'm saying, yeah? So this is the God virus working in us. And he says that this virus can inhibit the critical thinking skills, that you do not see your own flaws of your own religion, it is so easy for you to point out the flaws of other religions. He says how when you're confronted, or one is shown the differences or the inconsistencies in their religion, the flaws of their own religious thinking, how fast you are to defend and close up to that conversation, rather than when you are criticizing and seeing the flaws of somebody else's religion. Reading this book has helped me see the God virus working in me. And he says that this virus is so strong because the way it is introduced to us from a young age, it takes root. It almost becomes like it's part of your DNA, that you grow up with it, that even after you leave religion, if something bad or traumatic happens to you, very high chances is that you're going to go back and start seeking God and religion. And even after you've left religion, there's still some subtle influences that religion has on you. And honestly, I can attest to this. Now, Darrell goes on ahead and discusses the properties or unique properties of the God virus. And this is what I will be talking about in my next video. So tune in to that. So guys, tell me in the comments, what do you think about this idea? Do you resonate with it? Then yeah, have a lovely existence. Bye bye.